Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Star Wars nerds, and those of you who just clicked on this video because you thought Krrsantan was a new brand of medication or something, welcome back to Jim O'Rear's Wacky World. Today, we are diving into a collectible so fierce, so detailed, and so gloriously Wookiee that even Chewbacca himself might get a little jealous. That's right, we're talking about the Star Wars 1/6 scale limited edition Krrsantan mini bust from Diamond Select Toys and Gentle Giant Limited. Is that how you say Krrsantan? Is that how it's pronounced? Sure, or at least that's what I'm going with anyway, in hopes that I don't get an angry email from Lucasfilm revoking my geek credentials. Anyway, now, if you're one of the few people who actually made it through the Book of Boba Fett without taking an intermission, or 2, or 7, you probably remember Krrsantan. He's that towering black-furred Wookiee gladiator turned bounty hunter who somehow managed to be one of the best parts of a show that was supposed to be about Boba Fett. But we won't get into all of that drama. That's for another video. Anyway, Krrsantan, or Santo to his friends, or holy crap to his enemies, first appeared in Marvel Comics' 2015 Darth Vader series, where he quickly established himself as a Wookiee you do not mess with. Unlike Chewbacca, who mostly just growled and let Han Solo do all the talking, Krrsantan was out there throwing down in gladiator pits, working for crime lords, and casually taking jobs for Darth Vader, because apparently somebody had to step up and be the intimidating Wookiee we always knew that we deserved. Now, by the time we meet him in the Book of Boba Fett, he's been hired by the Hutt twins to take down Boba Fett. That obviously doesn't work out because this is Star Wars, where enemies today are besties tomorrow. And soon enough, he's fighting alongside Boba, kicking all kinds of butt and stealing every scene he's in. Because, let's be honest, watching him punch people through walls was way more interesting than Boba trying to figure out how to run a crime syndicate while riding a Rancor like some kind of intergalactic rodeo champion. But I said we weren't going to go there. Now, let's talk about this limited edition masterpiece. Only 1,000 of these beauties exist, and I managed to get my hands on number 160, which, let's be real, probably doesn't make it any more valuable, but hey, it sounds cool. Standing at approximately 6 inches tall, this mini bust captures Krrsantan in all his intimidating Wookiee glory. It was designed and modeled using top-of-the-line 3D technology, which basically means it's about as close to photorealistic as you can get without actually having Krrsantan show up at your house and demand a paycheck. And let's appreciate the handcrafted details here. This isn't some mass-produced hunk of plastic. This bad boy is hand-cast, hand-painted, and hand-numbered, which means some poor artist out there painstakingly applied all these tiny paint strokes just so I could sit here and make jokes about it on YouTube. Now, let's get into the finer details because, wow. The armor is absolutely stunning. You can see battle scoring and damage, giving us a glimpse of the brutal fights he's been in. I mean, if your armor isn't dented, are you even a proper bounty hunter? The hair is sculpted with individual strands and braids, adding so much texture that you can almost feel the sheer amount of Wookiee conditioner it must take to keep it looking that good. And let's talk about the spiked brass knuckles on his hands. Because if there's anything scarier than a 7-foot-tall, 400-pound Wookiee coming at you, it's a 7-foot-tall, 400-pound Wookiee coming at you with brass knuckles. That's like adding extra seasoning to an already spicy meal. You're going to feel it. And his expression? Pure, unfiltered Wookiee rage. The sculptors absolutely nailed his "I'm about to wreck your entire day" face. Of course, this level of craftsmanship comes as no surprise when you consider that this bust was brought to us by Diamond Select Toys and Gentle Giant Limited. These guys have been pumping out high-quality geek collectibles since 1999, covering everything from Star Wars to Marvel, Star Trek, Transformers, Ghostbusters, G.I. Joe, Indiana Jones, and even the Muppets. Because let's face it, everyone needs a high-end collectible of Kermit the Frog sitting next to their Darth Vader bust. Diamond Select never fails to deliver, and this bust is no exception. Every little detail has been handled with care, making it an absolute must-have for any serious Star Wars collector, Wookiee enthusiast, or person who just likes an intimidating shelf decor. So let's recap. Is this bust amazing? Yes. Is it a must-have? Absolutely. Will it scare off intruders if placed strategically by the front door? Maybe. If you want to add Krrsantan to your collection, head over to Diamond Select Toys and Gentle Giant Limited's website to see if you can still snag one, or at least browse through some of their other incredible Star Wars collectibles. Because, let's be honest, once you start collecting this stuff, it's a slippery slope. First it's one Wookiee bust, and the next thing you know, you've got an entire room dedicated to Star Wars memorabilia, and your family is staging an intervention. And always, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment below. Have you added this mini bust to your collection? What did you think of the character in Book of Boba Fett? And do you think I managed to pronounce his name correctly, or am I going to get hate mail from Star Wars purists? Let me know. And until next time, stay geeky, stay wacky, and may the Force be with you.